Alright, so referencing one curved curve, whoops, that's wrong. But yeah, we're getting the this extracts a point along the curve and the tangent so that you get the axis for the plane Z parameter, and then the way in which you've applied up this curve. Let's reparameterize it so that the parameter goes from 0 to 1, and then create a range of values. The defined domain of 0 to 1 steps can be whatever you like. I expect that, like, I mean, some of these models later on could get quite intricate and with like lots of wafers, really extensive within the entire winter. For now, I'm doing it like low res, so it's just like quick. Let's just get some experiments done. But have a think about as well how it's going to look in the end. So, like, what sort of aesthetic quality do you want to create as an exhibition piece? Yeah, so that you can exhibit it physically and then within the virtual environment as well. Alright, so the planes, I think I have to put this resolution right down for it to work anyway. Planes, cool, and then intrusion. Cool. Like a cocoon. Yeah, so you get all those angled planes, and then you can go through a similar manual process of chopping out that central support. Should I go through that again? I may as well, right? Because it's the curved one. We don't have anything else we have to cover today? Anyone think of anything? We haven't missed anything? I'm sure we've covered enough. Yeah, so I'll just reiterate this method then. And then we can have a chat a little bit more about what we have to achieve, so that we can tick all the boxes of what we want to learn. Alright, so let's do an angle one. I'm just going to create a sketch layer. Do that sometimes so that I know that it's just messy stuff that I'm about to edit. Alright. You know what? Because I wasn't amazingly strategic about where I move those other things to. I'm just going to guess, but ideally you want to keep all of your models on like a more or less a grid. I was just offsetting 500, 500, 500, and then you can reposition things perfectly. If you don't do it that way, then make sure you've got a reference point. Yeah, then it makes things really, really easy, but the reference point always gets in the way sometimes. So what I'm after is to move this up. There we go. And maybe it isn't good. Nope. It's center point, kind of. Not bad. Not bad. Oh. There we go. Back on the grid. Okay, so what we need is that one, and that one, and that's it. That angle back, yeah. Oh, the angling that way. Oh. Whoops. So obviously if you have angled planes, you can't use a plane like this to jigsaw in the angled thing. Like you kind of can, but it's not very stable. So you want to do it this way and then slot them in like that. So, yeah. So we'll grab this guy again. I'm just guessing. Yeah, like a couple of mil doesn't matter for this stuff, as long as everything fits. Yeah, if you get the material thickness off by a mil, then it matters. So, okay, same process. I have to put this down here, otherwise it doesn't split properly. You can also like extrude this up. If you grab your gumball, make sure your gumball's on there, and then hold down Control, it extrudes it all up. Good. Missed it. So weird how they reverse terminology. They reversed the way in which you select things with that as well. It's like, why, guys? Why? You've made our life so easy in so many ways. Why do you let us down with that one simple thing? Yeah? Yeah, where are we at? Selecting this stuff. Cross. Yes. These can, I think, be extruded. No. See, the directions are all different now, so it's not being very nice. So grasshopper. Simple little sketch again. So then we'll extrude, and the direction will be the z-axis that's coming out of each of these curves, right? And a curve can define a plane. So we use planar, test curve for planarity, and it gives you the plane as an output. The base object is there. So then you've got the plane, but you need the z-axis. So you deconstruct the plane. You go the z-axis to the direction. And then, so that's probably got an amplitude of 1. You need to change the amplitude of the vector so that you get your material thickness. And then use cap to cap the. What the heck? Okay, so you gotta make sure everything's joined apparently. Maybe that's just what the issue was. No, it's still. Okay, just broke the link. There we go. Cool. So now we've got all of our extrusions. And let's bake that into rotating things. Doesn't matter what these names are as long as you know what this stuff is. Just want to have a quick look up here because I realized that that's probably what the issue is there. We've got a little join function there. Maybe that'll work. This is number 5. Oh. 4. Bit of variety. Okay, we'll test out that in a sec. I'm conscious that I don't want it to crash and we'll lose track of what we're doing. Alright, where are we at? Down here. Cool, we bake that in. Good. Cool. So that is good. This one we can just extrude 2 and 2 both sides, make sure it's solid. Great. Move this another 500 and select those ones. Not deleting anything. Okay. Now this one, instead of using that base curve, I'll delete it this time. We want to offset that. I think we're doing 8 each side or something. Ooh, that's not going to do that. Oh no, it is. But will that work? That does not. There's something wrong with the curvature somewhere. Offsetting 4 in works. 6 works. 7 works. 8 does not work. I guess it. You don't have to be too fussy with this stuff. It's just about pumping out models. 1 millimeter around the edge. It's fine. Alright. So now we've got this one. Alright, now the way in which so we want to chop out basically more or less the perfect section through this so that you get straight edges there, straight edge there, straight edge there. Yeah, that's the ideal scenario. I mean that's what the grasshopper sketch does. Maybe we can do that. Which way should I do it? Should I draw another curve or should I do it based on wherever that other curve was? That one? Yeah. That one? Yeah. It just means that I'll be continuing on one of these short ones that I want to keep short. So is it that? Pretty sure it's that. Yeah. Yeah. So you can see like this extruding rotated curves. That's all this bit does. This bit plus that guy. I'll copy it down here. Oh, no, I'll go across it. That's our mesh. That's our curve. Let's hide this. Slice along curve. So then you notice what I've done here. It's just like creating modules now, right? So the curves that came out of there can now be extruded the way in which we extruded there. Oh no, didn't work because they need to be joined. It also needs to be flattened. Alright, so at the moment these are just getting extruded up from the curve, not from the center of the curve, but we're just going to ignore that. Okay, so are we just going to ignore that, or are we going to just fix it? It's like, so I'm trying to cut out the fat, but it's just like all of these little steps are really easy, but then when you do lots and lots of little steps, then it gets complicated. Right? So I'll just leave it there. Right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, you can use another way if you like. Oh, which other way? Oh, yeah, the straight one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just conscious that I don't want you guys to just create grids. I want you to think about how it actually fits with the form. So you have multiple options to fit with the form that you create. Because yeah, too often, say the Guggenheim in Bilbao, you take off the skin of that, it's just a grid of structure. They had no chance to design anything that was, working with the form. But there are ways to do it. And the engineers, they were just like, let's stick to what we know because this is too crazy. Yes, okay, now, let's move this into a position where we can intersect with all of the planes. Yep, that's looking good. Okay, finally. Now, we've got these. Now, I'm going to build another bit that finds the intersections, the VROWs with the curves, the curve, singular. So now it's starting to get a little bit messy because we're needing to do that stuff. I might just copy this bit so that we don't get tangled later. Then you can see how this thing is getting built up. Cool. Alright. So I need to be able to see what I'm doing here. So you can see we've got 2 points, etc. I just want to create a poly line between all of those points. So I need to just flatten this out. Make sure that for some reason it's making some weird connections there. So In between here, I need to sort these points along here. On this curve, and that will order those points correctly, and then create a polyline as I would like it to be. Just gotta hide these meshes so we can see what's happening. Hide all these. Okay, so now, now we've got a straight line there. That when you cut it with the laser cutter, then it's going to be straight, right? But to give this some sort of thickness or whatever, we need to basically just use it as a cookie cutter. And I think that I'll do that bit manually again, so you can get a feel for going back and forth, and then seeing how to do it parametrically as well. So, do center, polygon, take that in. You. Oh my god, is it? No. No, wait. Why would it be? I'm gonna move everything so that it's matched. No. Alright, I'm just going to focus on this bit now, hide everything else, zoom selection, and hopefully we're on the grid. Oh, so close. I think that'll do it anyway. Yeah. So we're going to offset this a big amount so that it's like outside of the structure, and then just connect these up. Oh, actually, we'll just loft these. That'll do. And then with that loft, you see that it's created all these separate surfaces, so you can merge all faces. Just creates one face. in this direction. We're just to the left of that center point, so I'm just going to extrude that way. And then I want to make a copy of all this. So that I'm going to do a Boolean intercept. So Boolean intercept gets the sum of both of them. So then you're just left with that. Hey man.
Hey, what's some rips? Well done, everyone. Congratulations for finishing stuff last week. I also bought this.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's not much left. That looks awesome though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just get some serviettes because they're very sticky. You can have one each until they finish.
Are you hungry now? Yeah.
Give me 5 seconds.
We're almost done. Alright, so now this slice is ready to slice. So Boolean difference, and then let's copy these across.
This is the guy that runs the show.
Oh yeah. What's oh what?
Storage and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What do you want to do with it? Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Downstairs, level 1. Great. Perfect. Thanks, man. Cool. We're going to store our wind tunnel. Okay. Okay, so we're almost done. Yeah, so we sliced out these. They're nice and straight there. That's what we want. Although, you know, we're going overkill with the details, maybe. But that's what's necessary when you go into physical space. So, copy that across. Now the last step is to slice that one. No, not that one. Which one do we need? That one. The one that's inset. Yeah? Yeah. Don't need that one. The top looks stupid. I don't know. Is that just me? I don't know. Anyway. Void the box. Let's get all these. Okay, let's hide everything else again. Let's have a look at what we got. Yeah, nice and slashed. Let's do the merge all faces. Okay. Awesome. Great. And then that's ready to go. So then we'll see the next step is to extract the surfaces. Make sure your copy's on. Change it back into Grasshopper and use one of your little scripts. Just a tiny little one. Which one was it? This guy. So that'll just flatten out all of your surfaces. That you put in. And then that one. So there are your numbers. And that's your geometry. Turn those on. That was the middle mouse click. And then have a look at where they are, and then just splash it out onto the XY plane. There's your face wind, all laid out. We're going to work on the name. And yeah, so flattened, rotated, plane, thing. Oh, that is not what I was going for. Should I click on it? Fake. Okay. Cool. And then, yeah, you go through that same process. So just isolate these, so hide everything else. If you've got all sorts of locked stuff, that doesn't matter. You can't do anything with it anyway. Select text, explode, then you get all your text. Chuck it on etch layer. Next etch layer. Make it red, and then you can select surfaces. Create another cut layer, and you want to just dupe the border. Make sure those borders are on that layer. Select surfaces again, get rid of them, and then. So I'm going into overdrive now. There's ribs. So grouping them all, and then jump onto your guide layer, chuck a guide thing on there. Probably want to move all this stuff at this point, just out of the way because we've already exported that. And we'll put this at the origin because that's where it's going to show up nicely in Illustrator. Might be good practice even to put the origin like that because the laser cutter 00 is in that top left corner. So I literally just use the move command and then I hit 0 and so it goes in. And then because these are all grouped, we just drag into place, lock that, so you don't move it, and just go good. Do the small ones last, get some big ones on there. Yeah, this guy should have gone on first, the big poop. It's more like bread though.
I was gonna say, it's bread. I don't know.
It's like sliced bread.
it's freshly like bread. It does smell like it.
Yeah.
I've got a baby rhino there.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
So now the little ones, I'll just chuck that one in there. We could probably fit this guy on there, but we won't. Bother right now. Be conscious of not wasting material, but also be conscious that Alright, mate. Also be conscious that each sheet is like $2.50. Your time is worth way more than that. Yeah. Cool. Good practice as well is just on the cut layer. If you don't use up a whole sheet, this is important, guys. Just to finish up. If you don't use the entire sheet, just slice it down nice and neatly, and then you can reuse the next bit of the sheet really easily. You can just shove it in, rather than having like sharp edges and messiness. Again, like you might waste a little bit of material here and there, but it's just best practice. So you can work more efficiently. Okay, and then we're exporting that as an Illustrator file. Basewind 1. Cool. I think I'll just go through this once more. There it is. Document setup. Edit your artboard so that it's matching the laser cutter dimensions. Align everything. No. You know what, you're probably better off just exporting one sheet at a time, because then you can just align it and you don't have to worry about this bit, or you can just delete it or whatever. Otherwise, like messing around with layers and changing layers just takes time. Because if you just delete that and turn that one off, sorry about that, guide off, select everything, weights 0.03, we're going to go through this graph again. So that's ready to go now, and then we just etch first, go file, print, do the setup with the print the laser cutter, and then vice versa. And you're done. Cool. Any questions? Cool.